here treats each other like their family. It's not like we're co-workers. It extends way past that.
Welcome, everyone, to the Driving Vision podcast brought to you by the Zeigler Auto Group. And here with me, Auto Group Director of Talent Development, Mike Van Ryn. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, thanks, Sam.
Be sure to subscribe to the podcast, like it if you do, and leave a comment. How are you driving vision today is the question that starts each episode of this podcast. This week, I'm proud to share a unique and a first ever interview on the podcast, an interview with the office team from one of our Zeigler stores. This interview is unique because it almost wasn't. This particular store won a factory award, a high honor for this elite manufacturer, but more on that in an upcoming episode. I showed up at the store last week expecting a traditional interview with the store general manager and his executive leadership team. Well, I was in for a surprise. That GM asked we not interview him, but rather those in the store primarily responsible for the achievement. We sat down with sales and service, the office, F&I, and others. The interview you're about to hear was an absolute blast to record. Who was the GM, you ask? Well, in honor of his request, I'm withholding that until we release the award episode in the coming weeks. But you'll probably be able to guess once you hear what the office has to say about how they are empowered to drive a crucial vision in their stores. So without further ado, we go there now.
All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to the special edition of the Driving Vision Future of Zag Today podcast. With us today, Lindsay Latsko.
Almost forgot my name.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
It's
so crazy. Like when you have to think of something really fast, it's like, sorry.
Okay.
Of course we know Lindsay.
Yes.
Thank you for being back. Thank you for continuing to co-host the podcast and being close to the mic.
Happy to be here. Thank you again.
Also with us today, Margie Mueller, Assistant Office Manager at the Zeigler Auto Group, Hoffman Estates, Mercedes-Benz.
Wonderful.
Welcome. Chrissy, Assistant Office Manager.
Yes.
Welcome. Diane Johnson,
Hello.
Office Manager.
Welcome.
So
here.
So Lindsay, can you think of a time when we've actually had just the office crew on the podcast?
No, never.
I don't think we have.
And
in fact, by the way, for those that are watching this by video, I feel a little bit like I'm the odd person out.
It's finally table.
It's good.
This is great.
Outnumbered.
I know what's happening. I feel like I should kind of recede into the distance. So this is awesome. And by the way, when I think about Mercedes-Benz Hoffman Estates, well, you said it best, Lindsay. What do you think of?
A well-oiled machine. I mean, the minute I walked in here, everybody knew exactly what they were doing and where they were going. And I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know where anything was set up. And they're like, yep, right over here. I mean, 4 different people right away. And as I was just talking to Diane, I said, wow, one car moves out, another one's right behind it, ready to go. And I said, it's a well-oiled machine. She goes, yep, we are. So confident and so proud of that.
Diane, where does that come from?
It's actually the culture here. Like, we came from such a different lifestyle where we came, from the store we came from, and to be in an organization that wants to work together, that wants the best for each other, that we thrive off each other's success. Amazing environment to be in, and everyone here treats each other like their family. It's not like we're co-workers. It's not like we come here from 8 to 5 every day. It extends way past that.
You want to be here.
We absolutely want to be here.
And in fact, when you go upstairs, so Lindsay and I are here often for the Driving Social call.
Mm-hmm. We are a little crazy up there.
You're nuts.
Fun. It's fun.
Lindsay, how would you describe it upstairs?
It's fun. You walk in and I think we were here last time on Valentine's Day, so there was cookies and cupcakes and balloons and all kinds of fun stuff going on. And
if there's not an occasion where there's food, obviously, it's a bad day.
No.
So you know what it makes me think of? Have you seen The Office with Michael Scott? Who's the party planner?
Well, I might have a little bit to do with that. I like to get people riled up and competitive. We actually had a Christmas competition with Orland Park.
I know.
We won, of course. The cheetah, we call her the cheetah upstairs. We love to dress her up in every outfit that we can. So when we get to have her, we love her. Chrissy took her for fireworks and we drive her around. Sorry, we do call her.
I love that. I love that.
Just everything. The food drive. If we're not challenging Infinity, we're challenging somebody else no one's going to beat us on that. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why is that important? Backing up, that has nothing to do with selling cars.
Absolutely
The food
nothing.
drive doesn't. Decorating upstairs, having a competition with another store. Why is that so important? And yet it is important. Why is it
And
important?
it gets everyone's morale up. Even people who come up from downstairs, they want to be a part of it. They want to vote for the best cubicle. They want to,
Yes.
they want to have a snack, of course. It's just it's an enjoyable environment to come up to.
You sense that, Lindsay, don't you?
Absolutely. When you walk into the dealership or upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah. You had to overcome massive adversity this past year to achieve and accomplish this big recognition from Mercedes-Benz, the Best of the Best award. What's an example of some of that adversity from the office perspective, right? The store could not function. We mentioned selling a car. Lindsay, how many cars would we sell if it weren't for an office or a
None.
BDC?
Zero.
Zero. Like,
Right.
It's impossible. You wouldn't be able to register it. The deal wouldn't get funded. Like, there'd be a drawer full of paperwork somewhere that would just be a disaster. And there are
Right.
stores that have run into that. What's some adversity you've dealt with as a store or an office organization to achieve this result?
So the biggest thing I remember all the time is the offices doesn't make the money. Their office is non-money making. Like you hear over and over and over again.
Okay.
And finally you get like defeated by that, right?
Yeah.
But then I've never worked in an office or a dealership that says, if it wasn't for the office, like we're acknowledged every time, every Cheetah lunch, every time we accomplish something, every time we get an award, we're always acknowledged and we're always made to feel like we have a huge part in what happens here. That to me is like the best feeling, and to spread that within my team and my girls, it makes them want to come to work every day.
So, Chrissy, does that give you a sense of ownership behind the result?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we feel like we're part of the team. We're part of the success, you know. When they win an award, it's not like, oh, it's just sales or just service. We always feel like we're a part of that success. And, you know, it's great. You know, it's a family, it's a team. You know, it feels real good.
You make a difference and you have a voice.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you pick up the microphone, though.
Yeah, Chrissy.
Oh, me.
On that,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. That was
okay.
true.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So, Margie, what's an example of a time how are you making a difference as it relates to the team's goal?
Well, I'm relatively new in my role.
Yeah?
I just started at the beginning of the year, and what brought me back to Zeigler and Mercedes in particular was the group, the culture.
Yeah.
I missed that, and I believe that together we're so much better than just one person
Yes.
being an individual. And I think that's what this dealership shows. Mike, for the whole, from top to bottom, we need everybody.
Yeah.
We need everybody to pitch in, and we need, to be so successful. It's not just one person.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of, leaders and a lot of people out in the industry, they're taking, like, look at me, look at what I've done.
Yeah.
Instead of, look at what my team has done. And it's like instilled in us here. And I think it's Zeigler all together. It's, like they offer the leadership, and they, and I think that's a huge difference for us in the office. We feel like we're part of something like that, and sometimes we have to hold people accountable for things, and that's not the easiest thing. We don't want to hear what we have to say sometimes.
Yeah.
I know Diane has that daily, but it's something that, it makes us proud because we are accountable for what we do, and we're proud of it.
So you left for a while, and then you came back.
Our heart.
So that's an interesting theme that kind of recurs, right? Sometimes we have a good thing, and it's tough to know it's a good thing until we've had the freedom to test that, right?
Absolutely.
So what brought you back? Like, what was that moment in your mind, that minute?
I missed my people.
Yeah.
I miss my people on the team upstairs. But part of it, and this is going to sound silly, was I'd see Zeigler stuff on TikTok,
Oh,
on Facebook.
yes.
So I'd be like,
Good
Sam,
job, Lindsay.
Sam is there. He's telling he's saying all these great things. And I think it's the culture of Zeigler. It's not just a company. It's not here. We're not here to just make money. We're here to make the employees and the people that are making the money feel like they're part of something bigger than just making a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I think that, to me, as silly as it sounds, that's kind of the draw that came back, that I missed my people. What I was doing wasn't fulfilling to me. And I was excited to test this. This is out of my comfort zone. And
yeah. It's interesting because it's tough to see what a family this is until you've had the experience somewhere else, and you're kind of tied to a desk and you're just asked to do a job, and you check a bunch of boxes and you go home and you leave it there.
or you don't have support. And that was part of my issue.
Yep.
I was home,
Yeah.
working remote,
Yeah.
and I didn't have the support that I needed. I needed people, and I didn't realize that
Yeah.
until I left.
It's interesting, we've been talking for a while now about how part of our mission statement is to deliver our family delivering your family the ultimate automotive experience. That's for our employees as well, right? It's not just to that retail customer. As we take care of each other, we're better, we're stronger, we're healthier, we're in a better spot to do that.
And for us, the people we are accountable to are the employees.
Yeah.
We're accountable
Your
to
customer is the employee.
exactly, the parts department, the service department, the sales department, the finance department. Those are our customers.
Yeah.
And we want to make their experience good with us,
Yeah.
so they'll work with us.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, to keep that line of communication going. And like Diane said earlier, we are a fine-tuned machine. Everybody knows their role in every department here, and you know who to go to.
Yeah.
I know you were talking to Dick Barker earlier, and it's like, okay, I don't know who to ask this. Dick Barker, where do you think I should go with this? And
He's the connector
he's
of
the go-to
everything.
He's the
guy.
tie
Yeah.
that binds,
He's the
for
go-to
sure.
guy, so,
Yeah.
for sure. I think that it's instilled in this dealership in particular.
What was it like, Diane, the day you got the phone call from Martin saying, hey, I want to come back?
Oh my gosh. I had COVID actually. And I was like, Cheryl was involved too. And she's like, we need to have a little Zoom call meeting or whatever. I'm like, I can't do it. And I was so quiet. It's not like I was unhappy about it, but I was like, me and Chrissy were like, this is a struggle without her. And she was not gone that long, but we're like, oh my gosh, I wish she would come back. I wish she would come back. I wish she would come back. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, she's coming back. Everybody was thrilled.
So I have a question. You can learn the lesson that, hey, this is a good family and it's a strong culture and it's a place worthy and worthwhile of our time in pursuit of this mission. Some people have to leave and come back to learn that. Do you have any advice for anybody thinking about leaving that you might save them the pain, the heartache, the tears of having to go through that cycle? And how can you get an appreciation for what we have and the uniqueness of it and really kind of give up that and just engage and be part of it, right?
I think you have to look inside yourself and see what's important to you. What's important to me is outside these walls. My family is the most important.
Yeah.
I want to spend quality time with them. I consider myself, kind of shy, kind of reserved, but with my family upstairs, I'm not. I'm someone different than, people are like, you're not really not that shy. You talk to everybody. And I think, when I get nervous, I do talk more. Yeah. But I think look inside yourself and see what's important to you. Because no matter where you're going to go, there's going to be things that are frustrating. Yeah. Are there days that are frustrating? Yes, we can all tell you that. I'm sure you guys have had days. That's normal. That's life. And from those days, you grow and you learn how to deal with those stressors easier. I think for me, it was, I miss that connection. And I think Mercedes, Zeigler, Mike, all the leaders here, all the team people, all the employees here, I missed that camaraderie. I missed that. And so you have to weigh that into your decision. You have to the grass isn't always green elsewhere. And people need to come to that decision to, see how much we do offer at Zeigler.
We appreciate you sharing that experience with us. I know it's personal, but it does make a difference for people to be able to hear it, because we hear it a lot. And sometimes actually there isn't a path back, right? Sometimes when you're gone, and you've got to kind of move on. But it's exciting when people just stay and contribute to the culture. But it's exciting too to hear experiences when people come back. So Chrissy, what's something that people don't understand about being up in the office? What's something that's misunderstood in the office world?
Well, I don't think they understand how much paperwork and how much we really go through. I think they come up and they see our snacks and our decorations. It's like, oh, you guys have a great time. Yeah. And we do, but we also get a lot of work done. Yeah. And, and I don't feel that there's a lack of respect for that in this dealership at all. I have felt that way in the past, but I feel like there's a lot of respect for what we do in the office. But, sometimes they're like, hey, So there's a party upstairs, must be nice, you know? Yeah.
And is it nice, Diane?
Sometimes it's a little much, but
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, back to work, you know, we've had our fun for now, but back to work, there's a lot to do.
But it is true that like the what we do every single day in the office sometimes isn't fully appreciated, right? Is there anything to our podcast listening audience you could tell folks about that maybe they just don't understand that would help it make it more transparent? So the thing I'm thinking about, maybe I'm not asking this well. We have a member of the F&I performance group from the office team at Orland Park. And it's been, I think, eye-opening to her to see kind of what F&I does on a daily basis, right?
Right.
There's greater empathy and understanding and whatnot. Is there anything you'd like for Team Zeigler as a whole, sales, GMs, fixed ops, to understand about what goes on daily in the office?
I've tried to, get the undercover boss thing and,
Yes.
Come sit with us for the day or sit in my seat. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to come sit in my office, and
Yeah.
I don't understand why. I keep trying.
Lindsay, are you up for that? Will you do that?
I actually did that as a recruiter 7 years ago. I sat with, I think she was the biller or license and title at Chrysler, and for the whole day. And I was like amazed at everything they did.
Yeah.
And like calculating commissions and double checking this and that. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's for everybody else.
Yeah,
pretty
and you have
much.
to be a multitasker. You have to be able to start one thing and stop it and go back and go for another thing. And so,
Yeah, I tell Dan Scheid a lot, like I've worked with auto dealer groups all across the country. I've never seen a 2-point store close the month as quickly. as
so
it
that
closed.
was a big panic attack
That's
for me
insane.
when we came over here, because we had a 10-day close where we came from. I'm like, there is no possible way. I don't know what people are doing over there. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way that that's going to happen.
How do you do that?
But that's where my team as a fine oiled machine comes in.
Yeah.
Everyone knows their expectations. They know their deadlines. They know what needs to be done when it needs to be done. And we get it done by 2 o'clock. Like, it's not a day. It's like, we're done by 2 o'clock in these 3 rooftops. We know exactly how to make it happen. We have emails going back with Mike and Bill. We're done with this. Okay, do this. Okay, like, we have constant communication with, and those 2 are the most engaged manager or GMs, vice presidents. I've never met someone so engaged and in tune with their stores than Mike and Bill. They're amazing.
That's awesome. Okay, what's one thing that most people on Team Zeigler don't know about you?
Oh, no. I'm a big talker, so everybody knows a lot about me. I'm not a quiet person. They share everything. I used to be a really good bowler.
Oh, really? Okay.
I was.
Were you on a team?
I was on a
team?
travel team in high
Oh,
school
wow.
that like went around to like, I don't know, we went to like 12 different, like, I don't know, but
Wow.
it was like me and like one other girl, and everybody else was a boy at the time, I guess, or a man, whatever. But I was like, oh my gosh, I can hang with the boys. Like, this is pretty cool.
Wait,
I'm
so
I'm
am
a bowler.
am-
Like, what is that?
Lindsay, do you bowl?
No.
Am I hearing like a Zeigler bowling?
Oh yeah, for
Like-
sure.
I would try.
You know what though? I'm like, this is my year of 50 this year, and my bones are brittle. Like, I don't know if I can do that anymore.
Is bowling rough on bones? It
I
probably
think
is,
so,
right?
yeah,
Especially
uh-huh.
if you drop the bowling ball.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
drop the bowling ball.
You would break your butt, yeah.
Chrissy, something nobody knows about you.
I would say when I was younger, in fact, when I started my career, when I knew Diane, I was a dancer, and I actually tried out for the Lovables
Oh,
back
wow.
in my probably my second year working with you.
You're
did-
gonna bowl, and you're gonna dance, and I'm gonna bowl.
Well, I did not make the Lovables because I didn't make it past the speaking round,
Okay.
but I had a lot of fun. And
What's
yeah.
the Lovables? I don't know what
The
that
Bulls
is.
dancers, the Bulls,
Bulls?
the Bulls prom team.
Oh, the Chicago Bulls.
The
Oh, I'm so
Chicago Bulls, the
sorry.
Lovables,
I
yeah.
didn't hear that.
Yeah.
So what year was that?
That was probably 98.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
So Michael Jordan might have been part of the team.
Yes,
back then,
yes,
Scottie
yeah.
Pippen, and
Yeah.
That's a pretty famous Bulls team.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool audition, but
Were you like close? We're glad you didn't make it, 'cause you might.
I am
never
so
make
glad
it
she
back
didn't
here.
make it.
I did well, but the speaking part and the questions didn't go so good.
Okay,
So
what was the question they asked you? They got you tripped up.
if you could go to dinner tonight with anyone, excluding your parents,
Ooh.
dead or alive, who would it be with and why?
Who'd you say?
I don't want want to say. In my head, I kept going, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, but I really didn't want to go with either of them.
Yeah.
So I eventually said my grandfather, which was the same as my parents.
Yeah.
Because that was actually true. Yeah.
Why did you feel pressure to say Michael Jackson? That's interesting. Jordan makes
It was
sense,
just
but
in my
Jackson-
head. It just
Okay.
kept, that's the only
Just on the
names that
MJ
were there.
train.
Yeah, it was it was terrible.
All right, Margie, something that most people don't know.
Oh, I got one, but I know it.
Is that what I shared earlier?
Yeah.
So when I was about 25, I had the opportunity to fly a small plane over McKinley up in Alaska.
Oh, wow.
And it's something that's always stuck with me. It's one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. And I would love to, in the future, probably take a class, like a pilot's class or something like that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
How long ago was this?
95.
So have you taken that class yet? Because
Oh,
I'm
no.
here to tell you, you know where we're going with this. If you're going to say, hey, I want to take a pilot's class, and I got that desire back in the 90s, is it in the cards now?
Yes.
So how are we going to support you?
See
in
how we
that?
get them to just do. We have a big influence on everybody in the office. If they're like, no, we're like, yes.
Do not
No, I
crash,
think
though,
that-
if you do that.
Oh,
For heaven's
no.
sakes.
No,
Do
and
not
I
do it on
live-
the first or second day of the month.
Definitely not.
I live right by the airport, right by a small airport. So I'm like, I could probably.
You could, you should.
On Saturday mornings, I can hear them flying by. And
Lindsay, have you ever wanted to fly?
No.
I think Joe could take us all up. Joe St. Germain, he's got his pilot's license.
that's right.
I
He's
think
got an
Mr.
airplane.
Spooner has his
Yes.
now too. Here, our
Yeah.
finance
Yeah.
manager.
Spooner's
I would
got
not.
his. I don't think
I
I'd
would
go
not
with him
get in
either.
a plane with Spooner flying.
obviously pre
I'll
9/11.
pass.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about a small plane thing.
yeah, we can't. And by the way, if there is a plane, we can't allow too many members of Team Hoffman Estates Mercedes Benz to go up at the same time.
we
because
cannot.
the last thing we need is everybody to go down and how would you
No,
cross the line?
no, that's not allowed.
Lindsay's like, why are you bringing that up? Okay, last topic. Lindsay Latsko, later on this month or next month, is leading a Jim Craig call. What do y'all
That's
think about
that a girl.
That's
That a girl.
Thank you.
Awesome.
In
So-
April.
So how did that come about, Lindsay?
It's funny.
I think there was a little challenge to see what
Yes,
girl wanted
yes.
to do
I
it.
mean, they threw it out there for a female to step up and run the call. I'm personally and usually pretty terrified of the Jim Craig calls. It's a very intimidating group on them.
It is kind of
It
intimidating.
is.
isn't
I
it?
mean, just to be with all your peers, I rarely speak up. And I thought, you know what? This is a great time to just conquer it all and do the whole thing. So I'm going all in.
Awesome.
So April 19th.
Have you had any prep sessions yet?
Not yet. I
Okay.
think first week of April.
Okay, what's your topic?
It is our inner circle,
Inner circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
which I'm
Who do
very
you-
excited.
Who do you count as part of your inner circle? You don't have to.
No
You
pressure.
can say I decline to answer.
Yeah, I declined to answer.
Okay,
I'm
that's
I'm gonna save it for the call.
All right. Okay, so you will bring it up in the call. So
Yeah.
that's actually an advertisement for the call. If you want to
Yeah.
know who's Lindsay's inner circle is. So sitting here with this elite team from Mercedes-Benz Hoffman Estates, do you have any challenge you want to issue to the team as far as the next call?
Yes, I challenge
Oh.
one of you three. I have two challenges: to speak up on the April 19th call. Okay.
I can do that.
Okay, and then to nominate yourself to lead one.
I cannot do that.
Yes, you can. You can do it. Well, I'll let you know after I do. it,
Okay, yeah. Let's see how this goes first.
What have we done?
Baby steps, Diane, baby steps.
So why is it important to have a voice like that? So by speaking up on a call like that, you are, Jim Craig talks about you're having a voice, you're having an input in the conversation in the group, you're part of the leadership direction. Cheryl has done it. She's led a call. I'm trying to
did
think,
great.
Araya's led a call,
Cheryl did a workshop.
and she's done a workshop.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
She did.
She's amazing.
So why is it important for women to have a voice in that setting?
Well, I think, this is obviously a very male-dominant industry, and
No, shocking.
I mean, it's the first time we've had all women at the table.
Yeah.
But I think it's just important. We have a lot of really great leaders that are females, and I think it's important for us to voice because we make such a huge impact at the store level, at an auto group level, every day at the stores. And I think shining light on the empowered women that we have in place is really important.
If I can touch base on that, I since I've been here, we opened January 2020. I've been in the car business, it'll be 29 years this May. Never ever felt like I had a voice. Never could make a decision, was empowered to do anything. Coming here and working with this fabulous group of people within these 3 rooftops and this organization in a whole, Araya, Cheryl, everybody, like coaching you to be able to do that. I told Cheryl, I'm like, I don't know how to do that. She's like, we will get you there. We will train you. Like, and even Mike, pat yourself on the shoulder, Diane. Like, they give you the power and the worth that you are to be able to make those decisions and speak up.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I should point out too, I had some really great leaders in the group empower me and encourage me to volunteer and nominate myself too, which was awesome to hear. And it sounds like you did the same too, so which is great.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
Girls, speak up, girls.
You know, well,
April
it gives
19th.
you confidence. It gives you, and I think I'm a lot like, it's like you rip the Band-Aid off. It's like, you're like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Oh, I'm
Even
terrified.
coming down here, it's like, I don't want to come down there. I don't speak in public. I'm not good on the spot. I'm like, but you have to overcome that and know, okay, I can do this. I can do this, and just have confidence in yourself and that you can do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I can do
So
this.
what's the next one? I want to do another one.
Yeah. So
Don't get crazy.
open topic. So what you said is when someone does it, it provides permission for others to follow. Have you felt empowered by following other people's examples? And who are those people? You named some already.
Yes, for sure. Even on a personal level, like, I mean, with Araya, she will tell me on the weekend for, check in on me, and
That's
she
awesome.
bought me a Christmas present because I was going through some things with my daughter and her health, and just having, I didn't know her from anyone in this dealership. She comes for training.
Yeah.
She like took me in as her friend, and her, now we have this connection.
That's awesome.
Cheryl, same with Cheryl. She's like, I'm talking to you as a friend, Diane. I'm not talking to you as a teammate. I'm not talking to you like everyone talks to you as you're their friend. And with Chrissy, we've worked together now for 26 years, I think. And over those years, she's followed me through the office clearly. Like, she's my right hand person, girl. She's my girl. Like, I don't know what I would do without her, but we have a friendship, and then we have a work relationship. And sometimes I think we crossed the friendship work line, and we had a little blowout, but Mike, we freaked Mike out. He's like, whoa, what's happening in here? but you have to learn to hold that back, and your team feels that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all we want from our team is to feel, good when they come to work every day. Right now, we've just gone through everything to give everyone a growth pattern. We want everyone to grow, whether it be in our store, grow into another store. Mike has huge, growth for these rooftops, let alone anything else that comes our way. So we want to be prepared for anything that he throws our way.
Change. Do you like it or no?
Definitely not too
So-
much.
So 23 is going to bring change, right? One of the themes we've heard is training to change, hungry for change, whether it's like digital retailing and learning to deliver better over the internet, or whether it's learning to have better processes to a lesser effect as the marketplace becomes more competitive, or advocating for a position. How do you best adapt to change, Diane? How do you push yourself into change?
I've never been real good with change. Like I said, I stayed in the same. If it wasn't for coming here, I would still be where I was at. I could not rip off that Band-Aid. I felt like I was not, we've said before, we weren't comfortable in our own shoes.
Yeah.
We didn't feel confident that we could go anywhere else and do what we're doing.
Yeah.
And so I came here not knowing how to be an office manager. I'm like, I'm a what? Like, I don't know how to do that. But I took it, I ran with it, and I throw anything else my way now, because we are all capable of doing bigger and better things all the time.
So I'll tell you, looking at that award on the table, that award would not be here if it weren't for your efforts. Like, it just wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of the genius of the leadership of this store, Mike and others, is empowering you to have voices to do your job in a way that makes a difference and changes the world. You change the world. There was a story we heard today about a customer that got a dash in Texas, and it was a part that was obsolete. They went and found the part, they bought the part, they installed the part. It's crazy, because that part nothing would happen with that part were it not for the office dotting I's, crossing T's.
I mean, they have the support where change isn't as scary too, because they know they have their other team members to lean on and that are going to be there for them.
Yeah. Well, for what you do, thank you. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Super grateful, Chrissy, that you are not a Chicago Bull.
Me
And that
too.
you are part of Team Zeigler. And in each of our world, that if you've had experiences, you've come back, but you're here. And, again, props for the ability of this office and offices across the entire Zeigler Auto Group to do what you do on a monthly basis, to close the month as fast as you do, to work and execute on a vision first set by Aaron, then by Dan, and then executed by you. Who wins is there going to be a 4th of July competition this year?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, who's going to win it? We're throwing it out there. 4th of July decoration. I'm not betting. Dick Barker may or may not be in the background saying it's going to happen.
We do like to dress up Dick Barker too.
You should send those in.
Yeah.
Those pictures may or may not be in the show notes, so make sure you check out the show notes. The way he's looking, I'm not
Very
sure.
good for the year-end party.
So everybody think. That's right. There you go. All right. Lindsay, last word?
No, thank you for all you do. And, the office, again, is just so key to everything you do every day. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks to the entire office team, even those we didn't interview at Mercedes-Benz Hoffman Estates, for contributing to this week's episode. More on their award next week. Until then, how are you driving vision today?